Hello YouTube, it's Carrie Ann. I am back with part 5 of the Nava Lapghan video series, and in this video we are moving on to pattern number 4. But before we get started, I just wanted to do a little housekeeping. We ended the previous video where I explained that you need to do 5 accent rows. So you should have finished your 5 access rows in these colors, and those rows were done in single crochet in the back loop only. So there are my 5 rows that I finished, and I did them a row in brown, black, turquoise, my favorite color, black again, and then ended in brown. And then you should have taken a moment to tie the ends of your piece. As you recall, as I said before, I like to do that as I move through my project. I don't like to save that to the end. That's a lot of tying to do at the end. So we do it as we go. So I just want to remind you that the videos, all of the videos in this series are time stamped. So if you look in the description below, you'll see YouTube calls it chapters, I call it time stamped. Under time codes, you can move through the video to the part that you want to see. And you can do that through all the videos in this series. So you can move easily through the videos. So I wanted to take a moment to show you how easy it is to change your mind about what colors you're going to use. So in my original piece, this is the next pattern that we're doing. This is pattern number 4. And I use this beautiful green color in the blanket for my dad. In this piece, I think I'm going to throw in this orange. So that's just changing my color, my pattern color. So my pattern color is always color A. So in this piece, my color A was green, and in the piece I'm doing here, I'm gonna throw in this orange. And I may switch this up, so we have to do a couple of rows of this pattern. So I may do one of them in this orange, and then the next one in the green, and then throw in the orange again. So you can change your colors any way you want. You could even reverse your color A, your background, and your color B, your pattern color. You could switch those around. You could do your background green. You could do your pattern color beige. The only thing that's really important with Mosaic Crochet is that you use contrasting colors so that your pattern shows up well in your piece. So I'm making this particular, I have yet to make a blanket for myself. So this one I'm making for myself, and I like this orange color, so I'm going to use the orange for my color A as opposed to the green. So you guys know how I like to begin, so I'm going to begin with a little gratitude this morning. So I'm just going to take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just get into that nice calm headspace as I create my stitches and make a beautiful blanket for myself, in which I want to pour all of my love and all of my gratitude into every stitch and every row. So today I am grateful for the shoes on my feet, the clothes on my back, and the roof over my head. I am grateful for the clean water that flows freely from my faucet and the food in my cupboards. I am grateful for the job that I have and that I am able to work from home. That makes me very happy. I am grateful for the sunrise this morning. It was very beautiful, watching the birds at the bird feeder. I am grateful for all of my families and all of my friends. May they be blessed, healthy, and safe. I am grateful for all of you who have come along with me on this crocheting journey. May all good things come to you and yours. May you be blessed, healthy, and safe. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. So pattern number 4, the first 2 rows are very simple. So I'm not necessarily going to crochet or along. At this point, you guys should know how to do a simple row of single crochet. So here is your row 1 and your row 2. So row 1, you're going to start with your color A, which is your background color. You're going to do a border stitch at the beginning, single crochet 119, and then end with your ending border stitch. Row 2, you're going to use your color B, which is your pattern color, and again you're going to do a beginning border stitch, single crochet 119, and then your ending border stitch. So those are the first 2 rows in pattern 4. So go ahead and pause the video here and jot that down. And I will see you at the end of row 2. Okay guys, I have completed my row 2 in my beige and my row 1 in my beige and my row 2 in my orange. I wasn't sure if I was going to like that orange, and I really like it. I think it looks wonderful, so I'm happy with that color choice. So we're going to move on to row 3, and here is your row 3 right here. Go ahead and pause the video and jot that down. And row 3 starts with your color A, which is your background color. And I just want to, here's a little tip about row 3 and all of the patterns. So row 3 is something that you really want to pay attention to. So if you really want to pay attention to your stitches and your stitch count, because it's setting you up for the rest of the pattern. As long as row 3 is right, you should have no problems moving through your pattern going forward. Row 3 is really that foundation when you start changing up your stitches and where things line up. So you really want to pay attention to row 3 and any Mosaic crochet pattern, and make sure you get it right. Of course, we all make mistakes, and it's okay if you make a mistake and you have to start over. I will tell you, when I was first learning this, I made many mistakes and had to start over several times. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we have to step back in order to move forward. So we're going to start row 3 with our border stitch at the beginning of our row, which is under both loops of your first stitch. Pull up a loop, move your tail out of the way, yarn over, pull that through and tighten that up a little bit. Now under the same stitch, under both loops, do a single crochet. Pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. So we did our border stitch, and now we're going to do 2 double crochets. And here's just a recap on the double crochet. So you're going to yarn over. Here's my next stitch. My double crochet goes into the stitch below that. So here's my stitch below. I have 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then we're going to do another one. And then we move into our repeat stitches in between the brackets. And if you look at the end of those, you'll see that it says ×5. So we're going to repeat this series of stitches 5 times. So we need to do 3 single crochets. And again, your single crochet is always in the back loop of your stitch. So here's your front loop, here's your back loop. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and we need 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Our next, now we need 3 double crochets. Just getting some more yarn here. So here's my next stitch, and here's the loop below it. So 1, 2, and 3. Our next set of stitches, we need 4 singles and 1 double. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 double. Our next set of stitches, 6 singles, 2 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 singles. I'm sorry, I think I said 1 double. 6 singles, what we just did, and 2 double crochets. It's 1, and 2, and then we're going to end with 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's just double check our work. We started with our 2 double crochets, and then we move into our repeat stitches, and the first set is 3 singles, 3 doubles. That's 1, 2, 3 singles, 1, 2, 3 doubles. We have 4 single crochets and 1 double. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 singles and 1 double. And then we have 6 single crochets and 2 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 doubles. 1, 2. And we end with 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go back to the beginning of those repeat stitches in the brackets, starting with the 3 single crochets. And that's what you should have. And you're going to repeat that 4 more times, and I'll catch you at the end of the row. Okay guys, I'm coming to the end of my row, and I'm doing my last 4 stitches of my repeat stitches, and those are 4 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to end with our 2 doubles and 1 border stitch. That's 1 and 2, and I should have my border stitch there, and I do. The ending border stitch, you go under both loops of your last stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, keep your hook on your loop, cut your yarn leaving a tail, take that tail, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, and then pull it all the way through and tighten it up gently. So that was row 3. We are now moving on to row 4. Okay guys, row 4, we are gonna use our color B, or our pattern color. Here is your row 4. So go ahead and pause the video there and jot that down. For my pattern color, I'm using orange. You can use any color that suits you. And we're going to start with our beginning border stitch. And then we start with 2 single crochets in the beginning. That's 1 and 2. And then we move into our repeat stitches in the brackets. And our first set of stitches, we have 2 double crochets and 4 single crochets. One, 2 doubles, 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our next set of stitches, we have 1 double crochet and 2 single crochets. 1 double crochet, 1, 2 single crochets, 1, 2. Our next set of stitches is 1 double, 1 single. See how our doubles are lining up? Remember, your double crochets are always working into the same working color that you're working with. And 1 single. Our next set of stitches is 1 double, 4 singles. 1 double, 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our next set of stitches, 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets. 1 double, 3 singles. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to end this repeat row with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, oops, 2, and 3. So that is what we're looking at right now. And we are going to repeat that series of stitches 4 more times. And I'll see you at the end. Okay guys, I'm coming to the end of row row 4, coming to the end of row 4, and I'm going to do my last 3 double crochets in the repeat stitches. So I have enough for my last 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we end with 2 singles and a border stitch. So let's go ahead and do that. That's 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to do our last 2 singles, 1, 2, 1, 2, and my border stitch. Go ahead and cut our yarn. And finish that off. And that is the end of row 4. And this is what you should have. I wish I could pull this out more a little bit so you could see. So this is what you should be looking at here at the end of row 4, and we're going to move on to row 5. Okay guys, we're moving on to row 5. Here is your row 5 right here. So go ahead and pause the video and jot down your row 5. In row 5, we're using our color A, which is our background color, and in my case I'm using beige. And we're going to start this row off with our beginning border stitch. There we go. So we're first set of stitches, or no, before we move into our repeat series of stitches, we're going to do 2 double crochets. That's 1 and 2. And our first set of stitches in the repeat between the brackets. 2 singles, 4 doubles. That's 1, 2, 4 doubles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our next set of stitches is 1 single, 1 double. 1 single and 1 double. our next set of stitches, 2 singles, 1 double, 1, 2 singles, and 1 double. Our next set of stitches, 1 single, 1 double, 1 single, 1 double, our next set of stitches, 2 singles, 1 double, 1, 2, and 1 double. Our next set of stitches, 1 single, 3 doubles, 1 single, 3 doubles, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to end with 3 singles. 1, 2, and 3. So that is our series of stitches for row 5. We're going to repeat those stitches 4 more times. I know things look a little odd, but that's okay. It's all going to make sense in row 6. So let's repeat those series of stitches 4 more times. Those are the stitches in between the brackets, and I will see you at the end of this row. Okay guys, coming to the end of row 5 here. That was a tough row, wasn't it? Some rows, most rows, have this nice rhythm to them. This row did not. So congratulations making it to the end of this row. It was offbeat, but we made it to the end of row 5. We're going to end it with our 3 singles, 2 doubles, and a border stitch. So yeah, some rows have a really nice rhythm to them. I don't know if I can explain it. I'm sure if you're an experienced crocheter, you know what I'm saying. This row was chaotic and did not, and was offbeat. And that happens sometimes. Yeah, we have 1 more double to go here. We'll end with our border stitch. Like so. And this is what we're looking at. So it looks a little chaotic right now, but in the next row, it'll all make sense. So we are now going to be moving on to row 6. Okay, on to row 6. So here are your stitches for row 6. Go ahead and pause the video and jot that down. And we are using our color B, which is our pattern color. I'm using orange. And we're going to start with our first 3 stitches, which the first stitch is our border stitch. And then we have 2 singles, And that's our first 3 stitches in the row that are not repeated. And now we're going to move into our repeat stitches, and we have 1 double and 5 singles. 1 double, 5 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Our next set of stitches is 1 double and 4 singles. 1 double, and 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our next set of stitches, we have 1 double and 1 single. 1 double, and 1 single. Our next set of stitches is we have 1 double and 2 singles. 1 double and 2 singles. 1, 2. And then our next set of stitches, we have 1 double and 4 singles. 1 double, 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to end with 2 doubles. 1, and 2. And this is what we should be looking at. So go ahead and repeat those series of stitches in between the brackets 4 more times, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay guys, coming to the end of row 6. So we have to do my last 2 doubles and then 2 singles and a border stitch. Let's go ahead and do that. That's 1 and 2. And then my last 3 stitches, which are not counted or repeated, 1, 2 singles right here and a border stitch. 1, 2, and my border stitch. Go ahead and cut my yarn. Finish up that border stitch. And this is what you should be looking at. And we have 1 more row in this pattern. So let's go ahead and move into the last row, which is row 7. Okay guys, we're on to row 7. Here is your row 7 of this pattern. Go ahead and pause the video and write down your stitches. And in row 7, we are using our color A, which is our background color. And and I'm using beige for my background. And we're going to start with our first 3 stitches, which is our border stitch, and then 2 double crochets. Go ahead and do our border stitch. And then our 2 double crochets. That's 1. And 2. And now we're going to move into our repeat stitches between the brackets. Our first set of stitches, 1 single, 5 doubles. So 1 single, and you can see your 5 doubles where they're going to go very clearly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One, oops, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Our next set of stitches, excuse me, we have 6 singles and 1 double. Six singles in the back loop only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then excuse me, 1 double. I'm going to do that one over because I don't think I did it right. Okay, our next set of stitches is 4 singles and 4 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4 singles, and then 4 doubles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to end our repeats with 2 single crochets. 1, 2. And then we're going to start over with a single crochet. So start over in the series of stitches between the brackets, and we're going to do that 4 more times, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay, coming to the end of the 7th row, which is our final row in this pattern, and I'm going to be doing my last 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and then my last 3 stitches in the pattern, which is 2 doubles and 1 border stitch. So we are going to do the 2 singles, 1 and 2, and then 2 doubles and a border stitch. 1, 2, and then my border stitch. And there we have it, guys. So this is the pattern number 4 in our Lapghan, and this is what you should be looking at. So before we move on to the next pattern, you are going to want to do another 5 accent rows. So just like we did after our last pattern, we're going to do, these are the colors I'm using. You can use any colors you want. You want to do 5 rows of single crochet in the back loop only. I'm using brown, black, turquoise, black, and then brown. So you want to get those 5 rows done before we move on to our next and final pattern in this Lapghan. So that's where we're at. I will be uploading the next pattern. Has 17 rows in it, so that's going to be divided up into 2 videos, and I will get the first video out to you probably in the middle of this week, and then we'll wrap up everything on Friday this coming week. So let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know if you have questions. You can post comments in the comments below the video. Curious to know what colors you're choosing, what yarn you're using. Share whatever information would be helpful for everyone. That would be great. And I will see you in the next video. Before I go, let me post this up right here. So your 5 accent rows are right here. So if you need to jot those down, pause the video here and write down those accent rows. Other than that, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.